Welcome to the MasterCraft How-To series. In this episode, we're going to show you how to install some MasterCraft Baja RS seats in the front and a MasterCraft Rubicon bench in the rear in this 2004 Jeep TJ Wrangler. So if you're ready, let's get started. The Jeep Wrangler TJ platform started back in 1997 and spanned all the way up to 2006. This particular 2004 has seen its fair share of road and off-road miles. It's got about 87,000 onto it, but as you can see, the owners kept meticulous care of it, almost to the point where you thought it just rolled off the showroom floor. He's done some great upgrades with it, lift kits, tires, wheels, bumper, winches, and about the only thing other than the motor that hasn't been changed out on it is the seats on the inside. MasterCraft has several different options for the Jeep TJ. We have the Baja RS. The Rubicon is also one of our more popular seats for the Jeep Wrangler model. On the rear, there's two different options. You can switch out the bench completely, which is what we're going to do with our Rubicon bench, or you can do a slip-over cover, which is a nice cover that matches our Baja RS or Rubicon seats and goes right over the factory fold and tumble rear seat. On this, again, we're going to put the Baja RS seats in and the Rubicon bench in the back. So let's go ahead and get started on that. We're going to first start by disassembling the front seats and the rear seat. The rear seat is really easy with the fold and tumble mechanism. It just all pulls right out. So we're going to go ahead and start with the front seats, there are 4 bolts connecting both the front and rear seat to the floorboard. Using a 1/2-inch wrench, we're going to go ahead and take these out. All right, so what I've done here is I've set up a little workstation so we can easily show you how the bracketry is removed. So we can use the same factory brackets from the OE, then go on to the MasterCraft Baja RS seats, which is important because, again, the fold and tumble front seat, which allows passengers access to the back seat on the passenger side, is a critical part of this whole vehicle because without this, it's going to be very difficult to let the rear seat passengers get in and out. What we also have done is laid out our TJ mounting kit. The year difference between our bracket kit is the 97 to 2002 kit is different than the 2003 to 2006. The vehicle we're working with is a 2004, so we have the kit number 624205 and 620204 for the 2004 TJ. The first step is to go ahead and remove these 2 cables, and the next will be remove these from this bracket. With the T45 Torx bit, go ahead and remove the seat belt bracket. So next step, using a 1/2-inch socket, we're going to go ahead and remove the 2 front bolts and the 2 rear bolts that hold the seat onto the factory riser. Removing the 4 bolts on the front and on the rear allowed us better access to be able to get to the 4 bolts that are on the bottom holding the seat to the frame. They're a little bit difficult to get to, but be patient. Use a 1/2-inch end wrench, and if you have one that actually is a ratcheting end wrench, it helps out a lot more. Now that we have the seat removed from the frame, we can go ahead and start working on this. Our next step is to go ahead and remove the cable with the black end . Discard it, then reroute the existing cable to its new location. Next, we're going to install the 4 8mm studs into the stock locations, putting the short end of the thread down. Installing the spacers for the seat is the next step. On the passenger side, we use the black spacers on the two front and the inside rear. For the seatbelt mount, we have two different brackets that we include in the kit. One bracket, if you use the Baja RS seat, labeled, use only for the Baja RS, while the other one you would use if you were installing a Rubicon or any other MasterCraft seat. We're going to disregard that one as we are installing the Baja RS, which gets bolted to the first bolt right behind the stud and the inside rear. Then our tilt mechanism is our fourth spacer. One thing we want to make sure to call out is when you order your Baja RS is that you tell us that you do want a driver and a passenger Baja RS. And the difference between those is where the reclining mechanism is put onto the seat. On the passenger side, we're going to want to make sure it's on the right side. On the driver's side, it's on the left. So next, we're going to go ahead and mount the seat onto the four tabs using the supplied nylock nuts, and we'll get this thing all buttoned up. The last and final step is to go ahead and put your seat belt mount onto the custom bracket, which is already pre-threaded. So and now that that's tight, we're ready to bolt this in. But first, we're going to go ahead and get to the driver's seat so we can do them both at the same time. Well, the passenger seat is a lot more difficult than the driver's seat just because of the fold and tumble mechanism. But just like the passenger seat, what we're going to do first is go ahead and remove the top two bolts and the bottom two bolts so we have easier access to get the seat frame mount off the seat. So we're going to do that. Now with those four bolts off, we have a little bit easier access to the next four bolts to get the seat off the frame. We're going to want to retain the factory seat belt mount, so with the same 45 Torx bit, we'll go ahead and remove that. One item we didn't cover when we removed the driver's seat is there is a seatbelt sensor cable that we had to disconnect. Now the cable will remain with the base as we'll want to rehook it back up, which comes with the seatbelt that we will reattach when we put the Baja RS on. Now that we have the base all set up, I already went ahead and put the four studs on the top. We're going to put all four spacers down. And then just like on the passenger side, we again provide two brackets for the seatbelt mount, one for the Baja RS as indicated, and the other for a Rubicon or any other MasterCraft seat. So we're going to go ahead and use the Baja RS. And again, on the inside back mount, we're going to go ahead and mount that to the hole back here. Leave it loose. And now we'll mount the seat next. Then using your nylock nut and washer, go ahead and mount up and tighten all four corners. Then don't forget to go ahead and mount up seat belt. All right, make sure everything's tightened up nice and tight. Now we've got our factory mount, factory slider, bolted up to the Baja RS seat. We've got the passenger done, now we've got the driver done. Before we go bolt these in, we're going to leave the room so we can go ahead and get to the Rubicon bench, which is what we're going to do next. The rear seat removal is the easiest part of this whole piece. The fold and tumble rear seat, after you fold and tumble it, the bar here releases the seat completely, which allows you to take it out. Now after we remove this, we will reuse the seatbelt bracket, but we do need to take it out because we actually use this to bolt in the Rubicon bench. We will remove the factory fold and tumble brackets completely, but we will reuse the bolts that hold those down for the Rubicon bench. Using the same T45 Torx bit, go ahead and remove the seatbelt bracket. Just to give you a visual before we actually bolt this in, very simple and easy. The front foot pads use the factory OE placement locations as well as the threaded bolts, so nothing new there. This is where we're going to bolt this down to where the seat belt mount is, but we're going to go ahead and put the rear seat belts through this hole that's cut out right here so the rear passengers can still utilize the factory seat belts. Let's go ahead and get these factory belt lit in. So we've got all the bolts tightened up, we got the seat belt mounts pushed through, and this Rubicon bench is all installed. So we're going to go on to the front seat so we can finish this project up. To ensure that we maintain the same seat release functionality in the passenger seat, there's a couple extra steps, but let me show you how that's done. You go ahead and position the seat as far forward as possible. You grab the new seat release that we installed, push that forward, and then recline the seat forward. You have just as much space to get in as you did with your factory seats. And trust me, when you sit in these seats, you'll love the difference. All right, well, everything is bolted in, tight, and ready to go. I don't know about you, but I really think the all-black choice with the seats was the way to go on this vehicle. It really helps accentuate the other parts and accessories that the owner has put onto this vehicle. For your vehicle, you can go to MasterCraftSafety.com, go to the MasterCraft Interactive Seat Configurator, and build one of our Baja RSs or our Rubicon seats to fit the theme of your vehicle perfectly. The different vinyl colors, the different fabric colors that we have to option. There's thousands of different options to choose from. So thanks for watching this episode of the MasterCraft How-To series. See you next time.